Good morning. My name is Mallory. I have the privilege of being the practitioner today. I would like to read about where treatment originated. Treatment and practitioner are two of several terms Ernest Holmes borrowed from the Christian Science teaching that preceded his founding of religious science. The practitioner uses treatment on behalf of others. The word just means anyone who practices an art or skill. You sometimes see it fleshed out as prayer practitioner or spiritual practitioner. The term treatment, as we use it today, means prayer using a type of deductive reasoning. A person treats to know oneness with God as source and with its preferred attributes such as wellness, harmony, prosperity, and so forth. We learn that we treat ourselves even when the desired result is for another person's success and well-being. We only treat ourselves because ours is the only consciousness that we can affect, or need to. We know wholeness and wellness about another with their assent and cooperation, and we do this especially if conditions are such that the other person seems overwhelmed by them. We don't treat people, and we don't treat conditions. We treat ourselves through an empirical, developing process of thought, beginning with 1. There is one. 2. Consciously unifying the self with that one. 3. Realizing the desired outcome in form as though it were already done. 4. Being grateful for this. 5. Releasing it all into the universal subjective or subconscious, which is where the work is actually done. If you complete a prayer treatment request on our website or at the bottom of the Sunday celebration section, I will happily add you to my treatment work for the next 30 days. My reading today comes from Dr. Terry Cole Whitaker. She wrote one of my favorite books that I've never read. All I needed was the title. It's called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. In the March 2020 edition of Science of Mind magazine, she writes, "Lead your own life. One of the ways to let go of worries, fears, and limitations is to observe our patterns of thinking, emotionalizing, and behaving. Then we can choose to continue with the habit or let it go by, deliberately choosing and developing more beneficial attitudes and activities. For example, skiing was a sport I enjoyed, and once while attempting to ski down a challenging hill, I observed that instead of skiing downhill, I was always skiing sideways. I'd go one way and pull back, and go the other way the next moment, and usually wind up stuck and wondering how I got myself into this possibly dangerous situation. The pattern was also manifesting in other areas of my life. I'd get going, then stop myself out of fear of success, and then start up again out of fear of being a failure. Success and failure, feminine and masculine, beautiful and ugly, positive and negative, these are all just words and have nothing to do with any of us. As if we need to conform ourselves to the current mental system being broadcast through the 3D world, it is programming other divine beings to fit themselves into these definitions of belong, survive, or prosper. Being victorious in this reality is all about self-satisfaction, self-realization, and self-activation, and not being some character, role, or bit player in someone else's tragic B-movie. All is possible for you when you take back your eternal divine powers. Dance, sing, be in nature, and cast off this curtain, this web of self-doubt, as if you are not good enough as you are. Now, remember that there is nothing wrong with you and never has been. Live your bliss. Preparing ourselves for treatment. Getting comfortable in our chair. Feet flat on the floor. Taking a divine, holy breath. Feeling that connection with Mother Earth, the Father Sky, and all the in-between. There is one power, one spirit, one divine, infinite wisdom. That source, that spirit, infuses every cell of my being, every cell of each of us. We are each controllers of our own life creation. We get to choose. If we are unhappy with the outcome of our choice, we get to choose again. We can observe our behavior and choose to develop more beneficial attitudes and activities for our soul. This creative process is ongoing. We are only limited by our fear. That's false evidence appearing real. Our life can be whatever we imagine. I am grateful for this creative freedom to imagine life in any way we choose. I release this treatment into the universal law of spirit, knowing it is already done and done perfectly. And so it is. Aho. Namaste.